Misquamicut Beach is where my friend and I had our girls' getaway. This was Sandy Shore Motel, and that's where we stayed. Across the street was Gino's, and that was a restaurant we went to most of the time that we were there. They have breakfast, lunch, dinner. It was a cute atmosphere, and it was straight across the street from our hotel. There's the motel from the beach, and this is our beach for the 3 days we were there. It was really beautiful. I hadn't been to the ocean in quite a while. I used to live in Florida and in Hawaii, so oceans aren't new to me, but it's been a while since I've gone. I took a little walk around the beach, and this is some of the things that the people had been doing. I just tried to get a variety of things. This little boy was doing this for hours, and he was pretty good at it. It was a really nice weekend. We had perfect weather, and we just enjoyed everything. Cute that those kids tried to do their handstands in sync. So this was the sunset the very first night. It was a Monday, and that's looking towards Watch Hill, Rhode Island. Way out on the point, you can see the lighthouse in Watch Hill. And then it was just a really calm sunset. Most of the people had left the beach, and it was pretty. It wasn't a really vibrant sunset, but it was really nice. This set of chairs and a table I thought was really cool. It was a carved set out of wood, and it was so detailed, looking like crabs. And I go around to the back here. Just look at the detail on that. So cool. The place with the lights is outside of our motel, and you can get food and drink there. They order from Gino's across the street, and it gets delivered to there, so you don't even have to walk across the street. So that was convenient as well. This is the view we had from our balcony at our room, so it was beautiful. We didn't even have to go down. We decided to go for a little walk that night after the sunset, and we just walked to the few shops that were still open up the road on each side. Not very much in that area, but then we came back and we sat out on the deck of the little restaurant area, and we just watched the ocean, and it was gorgeous and calming at night. We sat here for quite a while. I love how the sky looked really like a dark blue, and how the waves really reflected the light as they came in. It was mesmerizing and very relaxing. On Tuesday morning, we set our alarm and got up to watch the sunrise. One of the things they boasted at this motel was that you could see the sunset and the sunrise from the same beach, and they were right. It didn't rise over the ocean at all, but you just had to go out to the beach, look to the left and look to the right, and you could see the sunrise and the sunset. The friend I went on this trip with has been a friend of mine since 9th grade, and we had a girls' trip back in 1988, about a year after I finished college. We took that trip to Hampton Beach, New Hampshire, and we were going to do the same trip and relive that vacation, but we decided to do Rhode Island instead because we both wanted to have a new experience, but also sneak up and see Taylor Swift's mansion in Rhode Island, which I showed in another video. But it was just a really relaxing time, and we wish we had done it more often than just now and in 1988. So this was a beautiful sunrise, and after this, I admit, we went back to bed and slept in, and when we got up, we spent the day at the beach, just relaxing. I did some reading and just staring at the ocean and watching the people. There's another view of the motel from the back and our neighboring motels. As you can see, a couple hours later, and the beach was full of people again. So we just spent the day with our chairs and umbrella, relaxing and watching the views. I was surprised at how much seaweed washed up in these piles. I thought that was interesting. And everybody did things like making sand castles and playing games on the beach. There was a lot of football throwing and frisbee throwing and just a lot of activity. It was fun to see everybody outside having a great time. And then this is the sun going down on Tuesday night. And now you can really see the lighthouse straight out at the end. And then inland a little bit is that Ocean House Hotel and Taylor Swift's house down there. So this was also a pretty sunset the second night. Oh, I zoomed in on the lighthouse so you can see it really well. But another pretty sunset. This was our last night here. We left the next morning and headed up to Mystic, Connecticut before we went back home. And I have shared a couple of videos of our time in Mystic, Connecticut, which was also very fun. So I recommend a getaway with a friend. It is rejuvenating and relaxing, and it's just a whole different atmosphere than when you go on a vacation with your family. Family vacations are amazing, but you can't forget to spend time with friends.